a war going on. The books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover. That's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Wednesday, July 30th. We've got Major League Baseball on tap on Wednesday. It's a day card for the most part today on Getaway Day, and we'll have also some WNBA action tonight off of the Sports Betting Tuesday. Hopefully everything went well for you. Welcome. Thank you for joining me here. Welcome to the chat all-stars. Hello, stars. As we get ready for a preview of today's card and want to say hello to the folks in the chat and see what's going on here. Hope we had a good day. Bobby Mack here today. C. James is here. Oh, hello, C. James. Duke is here, everyone. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Cash Kane is here as well. Zach Hatton's ready to go. And I think that's it for the early risers here. We'll let a few more folks come in, review the action from yesterday, and then we'll get going. A little bit of breaking news here this morning. We didn't see the news there last night, but it looks like it's really just starting to hit the wire here that Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely is going to miss some time here to start the season with a broken bone in his foot. So about 6 weeks out, and miss the start of the season here, getting going as we approach tomorrow night. We got the opener, my Chargers, on the Hall of Fame schedule there. And a little bit of news there as well. They announced their starting quarterback in the game. It moved the line. It was such a breaking news. It moved the line when the Chargers announced that Trey Lance would be the starter in the game. And Thursday night, it moved in favor of the Lions. But we'll see if that holds true once we get to game time. Not tipping my hand necessarily, but I don't know who is taking the game more seriously, the Chargers or the Lions. That's always a factor, right, in the preseason. Which team wants it more, which team wants to win more. Sometimes it's a factor anyway with handicapping preseason football. We'll have picks all preseason long. Zach Nuke says Jays he'll take the Jays today to avoid that sweep against the Orioles. That seems like a popular play this morning with Toronto. And how about the Brewers, says Zach Hatton, Andrew K. here as well. Thank you to everyone here in the chat. Hey, I guess we avoided the tsunami of the century last night after that massive 8.7 earthquake north of Japan and I guess southeast of Russia. And hope everything survived. I had to go to bed eventually after waiting to see if it would hit. I don't know how far it would go, but I think everything's okay. And Zach says Harbaugh's love preseason. That would be my guess too, but still got a great team in the Lions there. Let's take a look at some of the action from yesterday in sports betting and see if we had some winners here. Felt like it was a pretty mediocre day for me, but let's see how we did as we had here on the Morning Steam show yesterday, a winner with Baltimore in game number 2. Remember, that was a little bit sketchy doubleheader, especially sketchy for those Blue Jays. They got blown out in the opener, then lost the second game 3-2. But you have Baltimore in the second game. That's about all I could do in the doubleheader there. Also, we did have a premium pick winner with the Cleveland Guardians in a win there over Colorado. They did dump them pretty easily there as Mansardo had a 2-run home run, and Cleveland wins over Colorado convincingly. We had a winner here on the Morning Steam Show yesterday with Arizona and Detroit. Game to go over. The Tigers they hit 3 home runs in the 6th inning, so they made sure it went over in a 12-2 victory. Had a premium pick winner, a sports money premium with the Atlanta Braves, and I'm sorry, with the I'm thinking of old Atlanta, Max Fried and the Yankees there yesterday. We had the Yankees in a 7-5 win over Tampa Bay. Cody Bellinger, 3-run home run in that one. Also, we had the Brewers here on the show yesterday as they were able to grab the victory there over the Cubs with Quinn Priester. They pretty much pounded them with the Vaughn, hit that grand slam. He had 6 RBIs for Milwaukee in the win. And hopefully, let's see here, on the Cover the Spread show, we did have Boston, although the pitching change with Minnesota might have been a little bit of a factor there as Giolito got the win there yesterday. Won't take too much credit for the win there, but did have Boston anyway over Minnesota in the 8-5 win as Trevor Story had a home run and a double for a run as well. Also over there on the Cover the Spread show yesterday, we did have the Phillies and the White Sox game to go over, and might have been a push for some. It was the over when we talked about it over there, but it did land 9, I think, for the most part. Philly got the win over the White Sox behind Schwarber's 2-run shot. We did have Kansas City here on the show yesterday with the win over Atlanta 9-6 as Lugo got the win. The Royals, Pasquantino, home run and an RBI double for the Royals. Also, hopefully you caught me yesterday on the Happy Hour show, 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific, every day on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. We did have the over with Washington and Houston in the 7-4 win for the Astros. Christian Walker, 2-run single was big in that one. Had a super high roller premium with the Angels last night and their win over the Rangers, 8-5 there in that one as the Rangers picked up that victory. The Angels picked up that victory over the Halos. We did have the over on the game here on the show yesterday. Final score was 8-5 as the Angels got it done. Mike Trout, a little bit of news out of that game. Trout says he's had pain returning. I don't think he's going to be able to play outfield is what they're saying right now because of that meniscus injury there. So the Angels, who's going to be dealt here today? I mean, this is it's a little bit sketchy actually. And some of the, picking the games is going to be some deals for sure. It feels like today, but it's just a matter of who could be dealt. I mean, could the Angels be dealing here? Joe Adell's been great. Could the Angels be taking offers on him? Taylor Ward says, don't trade me. I like it here. So the Halos feel like they're dealing, but who wants to be dealt? I think it's a question there. Padres of the win last night. We had them here on the Morning Steam show with Bergert, and the victory there over the Mets. They crushed them 7-1. Manny, 3-run home run. Elias Diaz had a big 2-run double when it was close. The Padres have won 4 in a row, and they're only 4 games behind the Dodgers. They're back in it, and I'm cheered up with that. Pittsburgh and San Francisco, we had a high roller pick on the under in that game. Final score 3-1 there as the Pirates were able to get it done there, and the Giants continue to lose here right now. We had the Pirates, remember, too, on the Morning Steve show yesterday, and they won it 3-1. We had them there as a pretty big dog yesterday, so good pick, felt like there. And late night, Mariners Angels, we We had a premium pick on the under with Seattle and the Athletics. Brent Rooker, 3-run home run in that one. You can get my premium picks over at Tony's Pick. Yeah, you can get them there too. But my sports money premiums here. Let me bring the graphic up. And hey, we're going to give a drawing away here at the end of the game. You can win my picks if you want and enter by just typing into the chat. Here, make a comment, and you'll be eligible to win my picks here, a free subscription as we head into football season. Why not? So check me out here over at the Sports Money Network. Get in touch with our premium picks. You can subscribe by using the promo code STEAM. Save 20% off those premium picks, or just win them here. Win Ramon's money at the end of the show of a drawing with everyone who chimed in. Thank you very much for that. Thanks to all the subscribers. I really appreciate it. That's how you keep me going here on the channel today. If everyone cancels their subscriptions, I'm going to quit this show. So hopefully we'll have one person anyway. Hang on. Okay. And a little WNBA from last night. I'm having a little bit of an issue, certainly, with the WNBA right now. And then maybe surprised because I've been pretty hot all season long. But at least we did have here the Gold State Valkyries yesterday in the game. I had them there on the WNBA preview show, 2-3 zone over on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. We had the Valkyries in that game over Atlanta. They won it outright. I just said take the points, but man, they did it. And Mikey had them too on his premiums as well. So that was the only thing I had to show last night for the WNBA. Man, I gotta pick it up here with those picks and those premiums because I whipped on the premium picks yesterday with the ladies. I usually don't strike out with the ladies. All right, more action tennis today from Washington. That's kind of a feature there a little bit. We also had the Leagues Cup. My San Diego FC got dumped pretty hard in that tournament yesterday, and they'll be back at it today. But there is UEFA Champions League qualifying going on today with a pretty big card. CONCACAF Champions Leagues Cup here again tonight with more action as well as kind of the feature competitions on the pitch here tonight. All right, we'll look for some other headlines in the sports from yesterday. If you guys have anything of note there. How about the deal between the Orioles and the Blue Jays? We saw Sir Anthony Dominguez. He was traded from Baltimore to Toronto in the middle of that doubleheader and pitched in game 2 there. Yes, that was wild. Basically just had to walk across the locker rooms to the other locker room there and got traded in between the doubleheader. That was pretty wild yesterday. But man, we'll see what happens today with those. Maybe there'll be a trade when we're on the air here today, and we'll get some trade news here. Maybe that's what we should be. Maybe I should be tuning into the trade talk here in case something happens here. I feel like I'm on the wrong channels here. I better keep up on this stuff today with the Major League Baseball trade deadline. We'll see who's making deals. We know that some deals have to be made, so be ready for any deals that we get down the line. I kind of want to fire it up here and make sure we got the little baseball channel on, right? In case there's anything that comes down. Juan Soto injured yesterday. Ronald Acuna, that looked bad, man. He left the game with a strained Achilles. And look, maybe if you feel it, maybe that's a good sign that he was able to come out of the game before any, hopefully, serious injury. But he certainly looked upset when he was leaving the game. This guy can't stay healthy. And Acuna left the game yesterday after he couldn't get to the ball, bounced over for a double. You could have faulted him for looking like a lazy outfielder, but maybe he was feeling the strain of the Achilles and couldn't get to it there. So Jacob Wilson's out with it looks like a possible broken arm there for Wilson as his injury. So, all right. And news and notes from the NFL also there with Hendrickson reporting to camp. Obviously, that was kind of the big news there. And let's get to the show. I'm sure everybody wants to preview the games today in baseball. Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. And we'll get a few more comments in here and get rolling with the show today and see who else came in. NYC Bar, he had a good day yesterday, 5-1. Good morning, too. Fernando today, he went 10-2. Dave is here this morning. Good morning to Dave. He's ready to go with the soccer action, it looks like. And good morning to Big O here today. He's ready to fire it away. Nick Candy here as well. Dave was fired up about the Padres run. NYC Bargo, he had Lugo in a strikeout prop. And Fernando's ready to go with his soccer action there. It's tough for Fernando's got to wait for those lineups there. I get it, but man, it's tough, to wait last minute when you're a big tout, when you're a tout out here like I am. All right. Lots of early games, says Andrew, is ready to go here. Textiles is here as well. And Volpe making those errors, says Andrew K. They have maybe that's their weakness, right? And that might be it from the chat for now, okay? Yeah, we were mediocre overnight with our Asian baseball, but hopefully we'll have some winners this evening. Let's get to the show here right now. Appreciate everyone coming along. AOD is here as well. Thank you. All right. And we'll start it off here. I think we got the pitchers and everything ready, fired up, and ready to go. Hey, real quick, I just want to mention, let me pop it up here, a little promo real quick. You can get ready for this weekend's UFC action with VB MMA picks. We got previews of the fight, including the new main event between Tara and Park. Flyweights, the South Korean against the man from Japan on Saturday. We'll be here for our companion coverage Saturday night with the flyweight main event and the other bouts here. We got a card this weekend from the Apex, and we'll have action here, and just check out VB MMA picks. Also, get ready for First Strike tonight as well, and also the guys have their golf preview up today as well, previewing the tournament here this week. So, do have our golf ready to go previews from the tournament and some of our other programming here on the Sports Money Network. I know Mike was out there yesterday on one of the channels. I saw, I don't know, I'm embarrassed here. I don't know what channel. I know he's with Razor, but it might have been on Razor's channel. I don't think we were on here. I got the message that we were going live, but I didn't know where we were going live. So I'm here, though, now. And let's preview the games here, okay? There we go. All right, now we get fired up and ready to go with the Blue Jays taking on the O's here today with Jose Barrios taking on Dean Kramer in this one. This one goes off at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. We're ready to go for our early card here on a Wednesday, and let's see how it goes after the Orioles swept the doubleheader yesterday. Oh, my goodness. How about that? As Baltimore surprised Toronto. Take a look at these pitchers here for Jose Barrios and the Blue Jays. Barrios comes in with a 3.83 ERA, 7-4 record, and 22 starts. 1.25 WHIP for Barrios and 243 batting average against for Dean Kramer. And the O's, Kramer, 4.23 ERA, 1.25 WHIP, 256 batting average against. Very similar numbers for these two, although Baltimore just 9-11 with Kramer on the mound. And for the Blue Jays, you got Berrios here. He's 7-4, as I said, but Toronto's 14-8 with Berrios on the mound. Go to the chat here. Get ready for the plays from the chat. All-Stars. We'll try to pass along my favorite trends for the game here with Toronto and Baltimore. You do have Toronto, obviously, struggling here a little bit after that great run, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Right now, Baltimore, though, in a little bit of a run here. They've won 5 straight, and they've won 5 of their last 6 games at home. Toronto's actually lost 6 of their last 9 on the road and 4 of their last 5 overall. Toronto is just 1-6 in their last 7 games at Baltimore here. 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have now gone over with some of the slugfests there, it feels like. So we can get your plays, though, here and see what you like in this one with the Blue Jays taking on the Orioles here today. Go to the chat. For this one, see what we got. Everybody's chiming in, ready to go here. Blue is here today as well. Abel says if you faded the Dodgers those 2 games in Cincy, you'd be wanting to take those Reds maybe today. I think that's what he's saying there. Here we go. Cash Kane is on the Orioles. Nuke is on the Jays to get it done here in this one. NYC Bar says Blue Jays on the run line here today. Can the Blue Jays feels like a game where the Blue Jays, that they need to come up with a big effort today here to just make sure that they can win when needed, it feels like right now. All right, and let's see here who else we've got here. Orioles run line here for Blue. He's not fond of the Blue Jays here at this point. Blue's going over here. Andrew says they've already faced Berrios and they've had some success against him here, so that has to be considered as well. Robert's on the Orioles here today. Baltimore for 9 Legacy says they'll keep it going. Here's Big O, though, says take the Blue Jays here. Blue's going over again. It's going over several times. Flea is here as well. And Harrison is here today as well. Thank you, Harrison, and welcome. All right. Well, I guess I better make my pick here. You guys are all over the side in this one and a lot of Blue Jays support. So maybe I should trend on over to the total in this one with Toronto and Baltimore. I know we've seen a lot of runs. I just said it, but I've got the under in this one. The total here has it's still 10, but it's 10 under 15, maybe even a little. Maybe there's some 9.5s out there, but there's heavily juiced to the over. Mostly 10 under 15. It looks like so far, and I'm going under in the game between Toronto and Baltimore today. Is my pick. And let's see, Berrios 10-2 versus he owns Baltimore. Berrios does, spinning those solid starts against them. Wow, look at those numbers for Berrios here. And a couple of them were this year. 10-2. That seems improbable. I mean, he just faced them twice, but it was earlier this season. Not great starts. We know that. I don't think he won the games this year. I think most of those games were well in the past. Berrios in April lost to got a no decision against Toronto. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs. And in March, he lost to him early in the season with 5 innings, 9 hits, and 6 runs, and that was a loss. So, but I get it. It's been a long career for Berrios. And Andrew said that's just it. He's given up some runs against him this year. All right. Over in the K prop, though, there. And I think that's going to do it for this one. I'll take the under. I'll take the under. Okay. Next up, we've got Boston taking on Minnesota here with Brian Bello. He's taking on Bailey Ober here. No, is that right? I got to make sure that's not right. It's Zebby Matthews. Yeah, hold on a second. We got the Zebster. And hey, Matthews was good last time out. So let's update that. I think that does affect the line too. There right now. Well, Minnesota's still favored about $1.15 or so, but let's make sure we have that. And the total 8 over 20 or so. There we go with Bello. Taking on Matthews here. Let's go to it. For Bello here, he comes in 6-5 in 17 starts, a 3.32 ERA, 1.28 WHIP, 247 batting average against. For Matthews here, 6 starts, a 4.97 ERA, 370 BABIP. Rugged numbers there a little bit for Matthews, but like I said, he was pretty good last time out. These are the 110 matchups, 110 Eastern, 10-10 Pacific. Boston's won 14 of their last 20 games overall right now. Minnesota's actually lost 8 of their last 12 coming in. Boston's gone under in 9 of their last 13 games. They're just 2-5 in their last 7 games at Minnesota. Minnesota has gone over in 13 of their last 20 games against Boston overall, but the Twins have also dropped 4 of their last 6 games here at home. So let's go to the chat here and see what you have in this one between Baltimore and Minnesota here this afternoon. Thank you to the All-Stars. Here we go. And it's going to be Nuke's ready to go there with that other game there with the Paddock coming up. Have that one next up. Baltimore team total over there on that last game for Jermaine. Good morning to Jermaine. Over for NYC Bar. I imagine that might be in this game. I'm not. Oh man, over the call there. And let's see here. Jermaine says Suarez is back in there. I guess I don't know if he was pulled because I thought he was going to get traded. I thought that was the deal. They were going to trade him, so they didn't have the lineup yesterday. Could have been his rest day, of course, here. Boston, Minnesota, over for Big O. And Robert likes the Twins in this one. All right. I've got another under here. I'm going under in the afternoon contest between Boston and Minnesota. 2 for 2 on the under. I love live betting, Laker boy. I wish, hopefully my picks are pretty good. If I could sit here and make picks pregame and make all the money that I need, I guess I wouldn't need live betting. But, man, you know what? I can end up on both teams several times in the middle of a game. I got to be honest with you. Here's Nuke. He likes the Red Sox in this one. And I might be with Nuke there. Let me see. Like I said, this price, I have it on the wrong team, by the way. The Red Sox are not favored here. Whoops, because I have double line there. Let me start over, not with the prediction, but there we go. I think that's what double contrarian. Maybe that's what blew me on the double contrarian there. But the Twins are favored here about $1.15, and I have 8 over. We're starting to see it creep up here a little bit to 8.5 under. But I'm going to take the under, and I'll take it at 8 right now just to make sure that's what we're dealing with here today. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Bello won. Andrew K says Bello already beat him once this year there. 6-1. And consistency for Bello there for the Red Sox. Nice. Yeah, Bello pitched against him back on May 2nd, 6 2/3 innings. You see it there in the, 6-1, he said. Bello gave up 1 run, 1 walk, 5 Ks there in that one. Okay, Twins. Oh, no, the Twins have packed it in, says Nuke. Oh, it's, yeah, it probably is the case. But, you got to still, I'm not saying alive, but when you're 10.5 back or whatever it is now, and you're under 500, it probably is over. Tigers for Blue in the next game. He's ready to go. Let me go to the next game. It's going to be the Diamondbacks taking on the Tigers here with Ryan Nelson on the mound, taking on, there's Chris Paddock. You guys are talking about it here. Paddock traded to the Tigers and makes his first start. He's been on a few teams now as Chris Paddock. Paddock comes in here, $1.35 favorite or so. Total 9, maybe over 15 here in this one. We'll see how Paddock does. If the change of scenery, you put him right in the middle of a pennant race here, and, it wasn't going to work out in Minnesota. They were obviously sellers a little bit here, even though Paddock was just 3-9 so far in 21 starts. The Twins were 5-16 with Paddock on the mound, so hopefully you can help Detroit here. I mean, Detroit's recovered here despite that losing streak. Now they're on a winning streak again. It was, they were on the road a little bit. They're not, Super Bowl, World Series favorites or anything. So maybe there was a little of that too in that losing streak. Not all it's cracked up to be, but they've beaten Arizona here the last 2 days, and they've been outscoring foes. I think they said 27-7 in this winning streak here currently. Paddock an ERA just under 5, 1.27 WHIP, 266 batting average against. Now for Ryan Nelson, 12 starts, and he's 6-2 this season. Arizona's 8-4 with Nelson on the mound. It's at 3.29 ERA, 101 WHIP, 195 batting average against, and a 2.23 BABIP. These are pretty good numbers, actually, for Nelson here. And maybe Arizona's got their lineup healthier here, but they've lost 7 of their last 8 games coming in. They've lost 4 of the last 5 to Detroit. Now, Detroit is just 4-12 in their last 16 games. Arizona's gone under in 5 of their last 6 on the road and 6 of their last 7 overall. Meanwhile, this series has gone over in 5 of the last 6 meetings. Detroit's gone over in 7 of their last 10 at home, although Detroit just 2-5 straight up in their last 7 games at home against Arizona overall. So we'll go to the chat, though, and see what you have in this one between Arizona and Detroit here today. Comments from the chat. We already saw a few of them for sure. Here's the Laker boy on the Diamondbacks here. The Nuke says it's got to be Pat for Paddock. Goes from a team that was 10.5 games back into first place. Maybe that will work out for him. Robert's on the Tigers here. NYC Bar is going to lean to the Tigers in this one. Feels like the sharper bettors, if you will, might be on Detroit here in this one. Gosh, I was kind of thinking the other way, but I see some leans to the Tigers here and there. But just felt like feels like the better pitcher here right now, maybe on the Diamondbacks, and they've just been struggling along though here. That's what it feels like. So maybe Detroit can get the victory in the end, I guess, is the way to look at it. But man, all right, I got to take Arizona here in this one on the money line. I think I'm going against sharper bettors here. Big O says you just can't trust them. I agree, I can't trust them, but I'm going to take him here as a dog at plus $1.10 or better. Fernando on the D-backs here. He says, I like the D-backs. Same price as yesterday, though. Not a good sign. I think that's what he's saying there. Laker Boy says they need to win one. Yeah, they do, but they might already be too much toast for the Diamondbacks. It feels like right now they've fallen to 12 games back here at this point. So we'll see if they end up dealing today. Maybe Blues on the over here. Laker Boy says it is an advantage, Ramon, on for Arizona. Look, I'm always hot and cold on Paddock for sure, and we'll see. Maybe he will be clutch, but I feel like Nelson is pitching pretty well. But the Tigers are maybe getting it back a little bit. I agree. All right, big one here, Cubs and Brewers. We've already seen this series so far, right? And you do have the Brewers here will be favored at home still, at least at this point, up to $1.20 or so. Total here, 7.5 under 20. With Shoto Imanaga on the mound going up against Freddie Peralta. Oops, we got Imanaga there a little bit wrong on the typo on the spelling. Let me fix that. All right. For Imanaga here, very solid numbers, 14 starts, 3.12 ERA, 103 whip, 219 batting average against. Feels like a pretty solid pitching matchup. I mean, Imanaga 223 BABIP, good numbers all around. Cubs are 9-3 with Imanaga on the mound. For Peralta here, he's 12-4, 2.81 ERA, 109 WHIP, 204 batting average against, and a 255 BABIP, but real good numbers for sure for Peralta as well. The Brewers come into this game on a pretty good run here at this point. And man, like I said, just got another good starting pitcher every game here. But hey, the Cubs throwing out a good one as well in Shoto Imanaga. So let's see what you have in this one from the chat. With these two, you have right now the Brewers coming in still hot, right? They've won 15 of their last 18 games overall, 9 of their last 11 games at home. They've beaten the Cubs in 4 of the last 5. They've won 7 of the last 10 here over the Cubs in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's gone over in 6 of their last 8 games at home. The Cubs, meanwhile, have gone over in 5 of their last 6. They've dropped 4 of their last 6 overall. Cubs also here they've had their share of issues in Milwaukee for sure. Let's go to the chat, though, and see what you have in this one with the Cubs taking on the Brewers here today. I know where I'm headed, and you know where I'm headed, too, in this matchup. Not going to be able to get me off the under here, you guys. We'll see who agrees in the chat because I've already got NYC Bar on the over. Here in this one, Fernando's on his Brewers. Cash Kane. Brewers first 5 money line. Nuke says Peralta loves Peralta at home. Fernando might even go run line in this one. This one caught Dave's interest. He likes the Brewers here. If it ain't foreign, it's boring. You're an OG, my man. And he says it's a nice morning slate. Laker Boy says, take it with Peralta. Fernando on the under. Robert on the under. Ramon on the under. I've got 3 unders in 4 games. Uh-oh. Tremaine likes Baltimore in this one. Yeah, I gotta probably stick to the under with these 2 starters. Pretty solid numbers here, let's face it. Although I will say, I think there's going to be share of sharp bettors on the over. All right. Robert says he can't play the Cubs. That's what he says. Okay, next up. The Nats are going to take on the Astros here with Mackenzie Gore. Not Trayshawn Gore, who's fighting this weekend. Mackenzie Gore here for the Nats on the mound going up against Ryan Gusto of the Astros. Gusto makes his 14th start here, 5.17 ERA, 1.47 whip, 280 batting average against, a 336 BABIP for Gore here. He's 4-10 with a 3.52 ERA, 127 whip, 242 batting average against, but a 326 BABIP might enforce those weak win-loss numbers here. But uh, Brewers, Washington just 8-13 with Gore on the mound. That hasn't been great for sure. His numbers are okay, but uh, not off the top, not over the top good, right? Washington's dropped 13 of their last 20 games overall, but Houston's dropped 5 of 6. They've also dropped 6 of 7 at home in a little bit of a funk here, but Washington's won 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two, although they've lost 6 of their last 9 on the road. Houston is just 4-14 in their last 18 games at home against Washington. We've talked about it, and we've talked about the struggles that Houston has had here for sure of late at home. Man, they're terrible at home right now. It's got to be a mental block of some kind. So, hey, we just had a fight this morning. We did see, and this, let's see. It was Sandoval over Taraji by split decision today in that fight from Yokohama overnight. So we did have that. We didn't have a tidal wave, hopefully, but we had that fight last night. Ricardo Sandoval. Taraji was defending the lightweight title. We know that, and Sandoval gets the win there in that one. So that one, I think, just came home a short time ago with that final with Sandoval defeating Taraji. The scorecards were 113, 114, 115, 112, and 117, 110. So obviously close. Sandoval was more than a $3 dog in that one. So a bit of an upset there as Sandoval started strong in the fight and came home. So, okay, just saw that final come in there. That was one of the finals you heard in the background. All right, let's get your play here right now with Washington and Houston. I'll get my play as well. I want to hear from you in the chat. Here we go. With the All-Stars, it's going to be Nerfy there for Andrew. That might have been the last game. Here we go. NYC Bar, Houston on the run line today. Take them on the run line. How about that? Houston, just a slight favorite here, but you can get some big return there. And let's see here. It's going to be under for Big O. Zach's on the Astros today. The Astros going to break out of the funk there a little bit. Washington for Cash King. Could Mackenzie Gore be on the move? Robert's on the Astros there. And I think that's it from the crew there. All right, I got to make my call here between Washington and Houston today. Man, Houston's been dreadful, but looks like the line's kind of caught up a little bit here to Washington maybe. But, man, there's got to be a mental block for Houston, the way they can't beat this team. I got to take Washington one more time here right now to continue to perform pretty well. Give me the Nats in this one. Donut Silks. Nice to see you there. 9 Legacy, Astros run line. And 9 Legacy likes Arizona. The Cubs, I think that's the Phillies and the Red Sox. I'd say that's what that is. Next up, the Braves are taking on the Royals here. And, well, hey, if you couldn't get enough of Rich Hill, how about Dallas Keuchel going here for the Royals? Who else could they who else could they throw out there? If the Royals have Rich Hill, and Dallas Keuchel, who is another left-hander, who's another old retread left-hander that they could get. Let me hear from you in the chat. Who could step in here if they got Rich Hill, Dallas Keuchel? Who else could they add to the team? I'm trying to think of someone here. Could they get uh, Hap? Maybe they could get Hap. Remember Hap there? How about? But seriously, they've had injuries to Raggins, to Lorenzen here, so it's just been rough. I mean, I don't know who else they could get. How about Cole Hamels or somebody like that? Let's preview this one here with the Braves on the road taking on these Royals. For the Braves, Joey Wentz, a bit of an opener here, just 2 starts and 28 appearances, 5.76 ERA, 1.56 whip for the Royals here. And Keuchel, oh man, okay, hold on. I think I get all excited. Now I see Angel Zerpa but I think Zerpa ends up here as an opener for Keuchel, right? I mean, Zerpa's a guy, 45 appearances, but we got to put the right starter up there. I think everybody agrees Zerpa's in there as a starter opener for sure here, right? But Zerpa's a left-hander too. But and again, no Acuna. This is a big deal, right? I mean, you have Acuna here, certainly, a top hitter in the league, a very good hitter, and that's going to be a bit of a factor here for Atlanta moving forward for sure. So a little bit of a bummer there. Kansas City, probably $1.25, maybe $1.30, but the total here has dropped almost a full run. Probably some of it based on that news as well with now no oops. There we go. Now with no Acuna in there. Okay. We'll go to the chat, though, and get your plays here in this one with Atlanta taking on the Royals here today. Atlanta has lost 6 of their last 7 games overall. Kansas City's won 6 of their last 9 games coming in. Atlanta's beaten Kansas City in 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams. Atlanta's gone over in 7 of their last 8 on the road, but Kansas City has gone under in 13 of their last 19. 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two in Kansas City here have gone over, although we've got an interleague series here for sure. And Atlanta here, where's the graphic? There we go. Let's just go to the chat here. I think we've hemmed and hawed enough and see what you got here with a couple of openers today for sure. Here we go. It's going to be Cash Kane on the Braves here in this one. And Jermaine says he likes the over here, but NYC likes the under. Final. Big O says, how about Strasburg? Yeah, I was looking for an old left-hander, and we know that I was trying to be realistic. We know Strasburg could not pitch anymore. His arm is done. But he was, we'll say Strasburg was one of my guys for sure. He's from the community that I covered the sports in the Grossmont Conference. Former Dave, you out there? Former West Hills Wolfpack and San Diego State Star. Kansas City team total over there for Jermaine. Royals team total under has been the play all year, says Blue. And Nuke said it. I'll sing it. We're on the road to nowhere. Robert says go under in this one. 9 Legacy says Atlanta Braves on the money line. Laker says, do you ever let heavy money on a side influence your decision on who you're going to take on a game? I don't know if I let it influence my decision, but I do want to know. Is that fair, Laker boy? I will say this: I try, I might need a few. I might need to revamp my answer on that, but that's a great question, Laker boy, because I am a market player, but I don't let heavy money. I don't really trust the percentages as much. Like I said, I do follow the percentages, and ticket count is more important to me than money handle actually. So I think that's where I draw the line a little bit, and to me, the move of the line is more important than the actual tracking of the money. Does that make any sense? I don't even know if I know what I'm talking. I don't even know if I know what I'm saying. Okay, but let me get a pick though in this one between Atlanta and Kansas City today. For example, I know the Sharps are going to like Kansas City here. I don't know. Let me see though. Any more comments from the crew? Dave says go under here in this one with the Braves and Kansas City today. And it feels like it's dipping lower, and I don't know if it's going to be that. I don't know if it can actually stay. Let me get. I think that's it from you guys. I've read enough of the trends there a little bit as well, right? This one's tough. All right. Yeah, I'm on the over here in this one with Atlanta and Kansas City. All right. Give me the over here in this one. I think this is my least favorite game of the morning here, the early slate. Blue team total under here for the Royals. Thank you. I don't like that one too much. Okay, Phillies here and the White Sox, and Phillies are $1.50 on the road. No, it's down here. Well, I'll move it down to $1.40, but it's even lower to a few other points here. Just you have Hauser here going for the White Sox, and man, the numbers are pretty good for Hauser since he's come on the scene. Really having a resurgent season, if you will, it feels like right now. So far in 11 starts for Hauser, the White Sox are 8-3 with him on the mound. He's 6-2 overall, and the White Sox are 2-9 to the under with Hauser on the mound. That means he's just pitching good and getting some run support. But the White Sox don't have a great offense, so credit Hauser here. 2.10 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. 248 batting average against. For Taiwan Walker, he's 3-5, made 11 starts, 3.84 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, 250 batting average against, and a 255 BABIP coming into this one. And man, you got to give credit where credit is due with Hauser here. He's definitely been pretty awesome so far since coming on the scene. You get maybe the White Sox as a dog here. Feels like Hauser can have a pretty good outing against this Phillies team here. Let's see what you guys got. Look, Phillies need to keep winning here right now, obviously, given the current situation in the standings. They're half a game back here currently of the Mets, who did lose yesterday. So Phillies got to feel like they have a big opportunity again playing one of the weaker teams in the league, but Hauser's just been very, very solid. So let's see, can you still do it here with the reduced price? I mean, there is definitely a little bit of a discount here currently on the Phillies, if that's what you like. I mean, figure open about $1.50 at least here right now. So let's see what you've got in this one. From the chat all-stars, it's Nuke Worker on the Phillies on the run line. He says, nope, can't do it. Got to go Phillies. Here, Cash Kane, White Sox first, 5-9 Legacy. Also, Phillies on the run line. NYC Bar going under here for sure. And Jermaine says you got to Philly up there. Jermaine talking about the Luzardo. Hauser is good, says Cash Kane. You seen him. He looks good out there too. I've got the White Sox in this one. That other line, maybe I could have considered there a little bit of a run line, but And looking at it now, this current run line might be just a little bit too high to want to consider. I certainly would like a little bit of a price. Take the handicap. It's $1.40 here. Money line is $1.15. I like both. Um, I want to win. I'm going to go ahead and take the run line here at $1.40 as my official play with the White Sox today. But even I might sprinkle this one with Hauser. It's just that Philly's still got the bats, and Hauser probably not going to throw a complete game. But you never know with this guy right now. Like I said, just real solid numbers here so far for Hauser. After a while, it can be a fluke, right? You'd think that these were the type of pitchers that the White Sox would look to deal and try to build for their future here. What are you doing, right? You're going to waste a guy like Hauser, and you could maybe pick something up for as hot as he is. Went 6 2/3 last time, beating the Cubs. Also beat Toronto 2-1 a couple of weeks ago, going 7 innings. I'm going to take White Sox again with Hauser. All right. We got a few more plays here, though. Phillies run line for blue. Dave's on the Phillies. Robert's on the over here. Jermaine says it's a bad storm a coming. Is that right? Is it, or is it the tsunami, Jermaine? Maybe I think it died down. I think they said in the end that the West Coast was going to get hit by under a foot of a surge of water surge. What happened was there was an earthquake, a huge earthquake, the largest earthquake in the world in 14 years. I remember where I was on that, and I'm a news hound, or I don't know what I am, but I remember that earthquake. I was just completing like a rec softball game, got in the car, and then the guy said, 8.6 earth. I'm like 8.6. And of course we saw that was, remember the Japan, they lost that nuclear reactor went bad. They had to evacuate a whole town. They still haven't come back a decade later. They have a little bit, but that was a tragedy for sure, that earthquake. And there was another big one today, I think they downgraded it to 8.7, but did create a tsunami effect. And there was some large waves that hit Hawaii a little bit, but it wasn't anything devastating. I don't think we've seen any total devastation, except for the Japan blue solid. Yeah, we definitely had some issues there a little bit. Okay, let's keep it going here right now with the Pirates taking on the Giants. And this one, wow, you've got Burrows here going up against Webb. And look, the Giants, man, this is a little league team out there offensively. These guys cannot hit at all. And you're on the road with the Pirates going up against Webb. This one feels kind of, like it could be a low score for sure. Burrows, 4.15 ERA. He's 1-3, 1.32 WHIP. He's pretty average, but he's young and facing a lineup here that not doing much of anything against anybody. Now, Webb does have a 3.38 ERA, 1.23 WHIP, but a 3.45 BABIP, so it hasn't been all smooth for Webb here this season. For the Giants coming into this one, they've lost 7 straight games at home here right now. They've made the Pirates look like world beaters here. Giants have lost 5 straight. Pittsburgh has won 7 of their last 8 as they continue to roll here right now, looking good. Now, they are still 3-10, last 13 on the road, but they looked the part again last night. They're beating this Giants team for sure. Pittsburgh has gone under in 5 of their last 6 games. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams here have gone under. Currently, it is the Giants. Not quite 215 anymore. Well, now Bovada's up there. Maybe it is 215. It's minimum 200, and the total is favored to the under now for sure. 7.5 under at maybe even $1.25. And the Giants just can't hit. So let's see what you have here in this one. This thing could go to 7 under. Now, I know that that might be a target for the Sharps to head on over here right now, but man, these Giants are just not looking great. That's for sure. I'm going to take the Pirates here on the run line for sure in this one. And right now, Pittsburgh, it's a plus 1.5, probably minus $1.25 or so, but Giants, total funk here right now, and I'm going to take the Pirates. Giants have fallen in 9 games back there. The Padres have moved 5 games clear of them right now. We know Pittsburgh still out of it at this point. They're not going anywhere, but they're having a little bit of a nice run. Let's go to the Chat All-Stars here. You're going to have some plays in this one. It's going to be Pirates to cover that run line, as maybe Webb hasn't been the best. Cash Kane says, though, it's a bounce back start for him. He'll take the under here. If it ain't boring, it's boring. I can remember where I was on that one, too, because I was headed home to watch the World Series listening to it. And unlike the TV where there was that little bit of a, and Al Michaels came back on, they just rode through it in the radio show, and it took them a few seconds to figure out what was going on. NYC Bar on the Giants. Remember, imagine this, you guys. I know a lot of people. We've got an older crew that watches me, I think is what I can say safely. But yeah, for any younger people out there that never watched the 30 for 30s or the old YouTube videos of the game, imagine the World Series, an earthquake right before the game starts, and then you got tragedy all around, city on fire, freeways, tragically. Remember the double-decker freeways collapsing on cars? Didn't kill everybody in those situations, but there was some death and destruction. And then a week later, coming back and playing the World Series, and it was the A's and the Giants, both teams from the Bay Area, but just bizarre that year. Robert on the Pirates on the run line. Sachs is not betting on the Pirates. Cash Kane, Giants run line there. Gorky's here today. Thank you, Gorky, for your tennis here. I don't know what that means, but maybe these are his plays there. Thank you. Billy Siegfried, thank you there. He says, I'm watching the WNBA every night. And I liked it I liked seeing Cameron Brink out there last night. I know that they got beat. I was on the Sparks. Aces playing better for sure, but Cameron Brink made her return there. That was pretty good. All right, I'm on the Bucks there. Last day game here, the Mets taking on the Padres with Clay Holmes on the mound here, going up against Yu Darvish. How about that? Darvish makes his 5th start, 9.18 ERA, 1.8 WHIP. Not great numbers. We're not sure. To me, I'm not sure that Darvish is going to be anything but just an average pitcher at this point until we see him get back into form and look like something here for San Diego. They certainly could use him. Holmes has made 21 starts, 3.4 ERA, 239 batting average against. Clay Holmes has done a pretty good job, it feels like, this season, coming in with a 9-5 record. Now, the Mets have won 7 of their last 9 games overall, but have struggled on the road, losing 13 of their last 20. They've also dropped 4 of the last 5 to the Padres. Padres have won 5 of their last 6 at home. They're the team that's back in the race, trailing the Dodgers. And look, Padres are having their own set of issues, but you just wonder how much more the Dodgers can take with these pitching injuries. The Padres have won 6 of the last 8 at home against the Mets, and 6 of the last 9 Padres games have gone under. Let's see what you have in this one between Mets and the Padres today at Petco. Last day game of the card here. Get your plays. I'll go to the chat all-stars in this one. A lot of comments here, or it's just blue. Here we go. Okay, a lot of Mets support here. Cash Kane, Mets run line. Blues on the Mets. Scoops is on the Mets. NYC Bar says Mets. See where this is headed. And Billy, oh no, Billy, you didn't go there. Oh man, I thought that was a mouthpiece. Here, missed opportunity, Billy. Right? Come on, someone throw. Remember the Bills game many years ago when Brady was still playing, and someone threw that. I want to use try to. I want to use the. I don't want to say the word there. We've got it on the screen. But oh god. Anyway, oh god. Okay, there was a prophylactic. Okay, there was a prophylactic thrown. Now, here's the thing, right? Okay, so the thing is thrown on the court right there in middle of the game in Atlanta, right? It lands right in front of the fans. Now, look, I know we need to get probably a towel to pick. No one's. I don't know how to say. Just pick up the. You don't need a towel. No one's out there corroding. That thing was fresh out of the package. Okay, you don't need a towel. I know it looks for maybe for optics. And what were the fans? If I'm the fan, all right. Now here's the funny thing, right? Are we going to start to see an epidemic of this at the WNBA game? If I'm a fan, I'm picking that thing up and I'm like, to the crowd, to the cameras, what do I care that, maybe it was I don't know. You know what I'm saying, right? I don't think it probably was. If not, it's probably washed. Just pick up the prophylactic there, and I would have waved it. I would have stuck it in my pocket as a souvenir. Hey, I got this prophylactic at the Dream game. A missed opportunity there for the fans, and they had to wait for a security guard to come out. Everybody's laughing at it. Pick the thing up, and you know what? What are you going to catch? What am I going to get? Like HPV or something by touching somebody's profile? Wave it. That'd have been my moment here. I mean, I'm famous on YouTube with my couple hundred viewers here a day. I would have been going viral. The man who picked up the prophylactic at the basketball game and waved it to the crowd, stuck it in his pocket. Man, people just miss opportunities to go viral. All right, let's get back to the action here. NYC Bar on the over, Abel's on the Mets, Gorky's got some tennis, and I've got some prophylactics. Harrison says, who is my favorite NBA player? NBA player or WNBA? Harrison. I know who. Trying to think of it right now. I mean, we just had it, right? Darvish is bad here. I want to answer that from Harrison. Does he mean? Do you mean NBA? Maybe he does. I'm sure he does right there. It says NBA, but just because we were talking WNBA, but. Trying to think right now. I know. I mean, I have certainly a favorite. Coming up right now, but I don't know if he's going to make. So let me answer. Okay, my favorite. Let me go back to that. My favorite NBA player coming up is going to be, hopefully makes it. I don't think he's going to make it to the NBA, but I got to go with Kobe Sanders right now. I mean, he was just drafted. He's on a fast track. He's rapidly improving. He was drafted by the Clippers. I'm not sure he's ever going to make it to the Clippers. Maybe he will make it. I mean, he's going to be in the G League for sure. And for my favorite NBA player, man, I don't know. All right. Let's see. Fernando said, did he have the poppies there? The Padres yesterday fade. Darvish says blue. Mets for Nuke. Robert's on the Padres. And Zach's on the Mets. Billy talking about the poor hitting there. Did I say it right, Goose? Prophylactic, right? Prophylactic, that. What is this when you take? Is that a prophylactic? When you take a pill or a blue, we stuck the thing right in a cup and then drank the beer. Oh, that's what. Take the, look, you only get one chance at greatness, right? If I was the man who drank the beer with the prophylactic, you know what? So be it. Right? Well, I'm not going viral for anything else. We're not, this show's, hey, it's a pretty good show, but drink the thing, take the you could have did so many things there. Come on. Right? Billy's right. All right. Get back on track here. Right? Cash Kate, everybody's talking about how this could be the next thing, like the octopus in Detroit, or the rat in Florida. If Blue would watch more WNBA if they do more like that. Does anybody remember the Bills game, the Buffalo Bills game though, when someone did the same thing there? Okay, we got to get back on track here with the Mets and the Padres here in this one. So let me see here. Make my pick for sure with this game. I'm also I'm trying to root Darvish home. I want Darvish to, and I look. I don't think Darvish is done. I think Darvish is a pitcher that works into shape. And I do think he can contribute. I wish the Mets weren't favored. I actually thought, oh, wow, you know what? Padres are starting to move to a pick 'em here, a lot of spots. In fact, I'm seeing them. All right, that's good enough for me. I'm going to move the Mets down a little bit. I'm still going to call them the slightest of favorites. The Padres are a favorite at a lot of spots, and it's a pick 'em. Maybe the Mets are barely a favorite at a couple of books. They're not really going to be a favorite. It looks like the way this one is trending. So you wonder if on a day game here, and we do know that Juan Soto, this is probably the deal. He had a leg injury yesterday, so that could be a game changer for some of you if you didn't know that. He's probably going to miss today's game. I still kind of want to take the Mets, though. And did the total move down? I'm sure the total moved down. No, the total's still 8.5. There in the game. So, you know what? I mean, you know what? I'm going to take the Mets here right now. Look, I need Soto probably in here. I'm worried about Darvish now, but as long as he goes out there and throws and gets innings in and looks okay. I know he didn't look that great, but I'm going with the Mets this time today. But I'm not down on Darvish here. I'm okay with him working for progress here a little bit. And if it ain't born, it's born. So yeah, Soto's going to be out there. Nuke says Darvish can still do it. Right. We're not looking for Yu Darvish from the past. We just need Yu Darvish to be a starter, go out there 4 or 5 innings, and get it. Because the Padres do have. I mean, there's no doubt this Padres bullpen. Even if they trade their closer, right? I mean, this is a possibility today. The Padres trade their closer here for a little bit more offense. They have enough bullpen to probably get it done. And they'll move Marhone into closer. Still, with Suarez, it's a little dicey sometimes. He's good. He's very good. The contract is probably why you would deal him and you get a big haul, and the Padres still have enough bullpen. Padres money line for 9 legacy. And Cash Kane says that maybe Darvish, because no Soto, that might make it. I'm gonna take the Mets this time, but I think that total looks a little high right now, given the scenario here today. And probably going to have some premium action, I think. Yeah, I think Scherzer might be a little bit ahead of him there right now. Okay, here we go. Rocky, we're in the night card now with the Rockies taking on the Guardians here, the Indians. They'll be the Indians before you know it. With Kyle Freeland. Now, Cleveland, we know that they're probably one of the worst teams against left-handers now. And, Kyle Freeland, he should be just called a no-hander because it doesn't matter if he's left or right-handed. He hasn't been very good. Maybe because the Guardians aren't that great against left-handers that Freeland will be that much better. He's got down to a 5.24 ERA, but a 2-10 record, 5-14 of the Rockies with Freeland. That's almost in line with their regular win percentage. 308 batting average against a 343 BABIP. So Freeland hasn't been great. Now, let me see. It could be Cody Allard here. I might have the wrong starter listed here. I'm sure it'll be a combination of these guys, but I think Allard goes first right now. So let me update that. I don't think it's not going to affect anything here for sure. A little bit of big. I gotta preempt here a little bit for. I think this is our first Steam of the morning, but it's in the WNBA and it's in the big game tonight between the Liberty and the Lynx, the championship series rematch. The total's moving to the over here right now between the Liberty and the Lynx. We're seeing this one get steamed here currently. It was 160. It was 164.5 at one point, or even lower on some of the openers, 163.5. The sendout was 161.5, but now we're up to 167.5 in this one. Wow. Obviously probably the two best teams again right now, steam to the over, Liberty and the Lynx tonight. Liberty will be without Brianna Stewart. They are 3-0 to the over as an underdog. They've only been an underdog just 3 times, and they are 0-3 ATS in those roles as an underdog. So we'll get to that, but just want to mention that steam there that came in. All right, man, we're going along here. Let's Rockies here and the Guardians. Let's see what you guys got. We talked about these guys. Allard's been good out of the bullpen for sure. 21 starts, 2.83 ERA. But again, that looks like a bullpen game here for both teams. Or I'm sorry, for the Guardians here. Freeland, we know, is a real star. He's a starter. He's not a real starter. He's a real starter, but he's not a real good one. Colorado's dropped 11 of their last 15 on the road. Cleveland's won 13 of their last 19 games overall here. And Guardians have gone over in 8 of their last 13 games. They've also gone over in 8 of their last 10 games at home. Rockies have gone over in 4 of their last 5 games coming into this one. So let's see if you have anything. This awkward matchup here between Colorado and the Guardians today. Is it a Guardians spot for once? I mean, a Rockies spot for once. Let's go to the chat here right now and see what you have here in this one. Colorado and the Rockies. Okay. Rockies money line for NYC Bar. Jimmy, hello and good morning. Blue may go over here. 9 Legacy there says Indians total over, I think. Rockies run line here for Fernando. Robert is on the under here in this one. That's probably where I'm headed to. I probably want the under here, even with this mediocre pitching matchup. There we go. Cleveland money line here for lovable plays. Nice to have lovable plays today. Cash Kane, Rockies on the money line here. All right, I guess I got to make my call in this one. And yeah. Oh, Cash. No, you got a pretty good relief pitcher here. And look, the Guardians have good relief pitching, and they're in a bullpen game. So, they're not the best, but they're definitely like a top 8 bullpen or so right now. And we know the Rockies. Uh, Look, like I said, they've got Freeland in there. He is bad, but he is a left-hander. The Cleveland Guardians do kind of struggle against left-handers. So, all right, I'm going to take the Rockies on the run line here and see if they can't hang in here for once. Rockies on the run line currently are at plus 1.5. Oh, gosh, minus $1.35. Whew. All right, well, I guess I'm committed there now. Give me the Rockies. Thought it would be a little bit. I didn't know it would move. It moved. What do I have the line here? It's at $1.80 right now. So maybe a 15-cent move has affected this price. And the total, still 8 for the most part. 8 under 15. All right, we'll move on. But there it is, and I'm on the Rockies there. All right, these are the night games now. We got the Rays and the Yankees here. With Will Warren going here for the Yankees and Zach Littell for the Rays in this one. For Littell here, he comes in with a 3.72 ERA, 8-8 record, 1.11 whip. Pretty good, 262 BABIP. Littell's been okay for sure for the Yankees here. Will Warren, 6-5, 4.82 ERA, 1.44 whip. You just got to wonder how much it's going to affect with Aaron Judge out. Look, it makes a huge. I don't have to tell you how much of a difference it makes, and you hope he's okay. Doesn't sound like he's going to be able to play any defense when he returns. So let's see what you have though in this one with the Tampa Bay and the Yankees. They're still the Yankees, right? Or they're just the Yankees. Problem here is the Rays are struggling on the road. Just 1-8 in their last 9 on the road, 1-5 their last 6 overall. But Yankees struggling as well, 2-5 last 7 at home, 2-4 in their last 6 games overall. Tampa's gone under in 4 of their last 5 coming into this one. Let's see what you guys have here at the Rays and Yankees today. Right now, that current line isn't quite $1.40. I'm seeing the Yankees here down to $1.35, down to $1.26 here at Bet Online. So maybe we'll call it $1.30 for the most part. Looks like a bit of a move here on the Rays for sure. But let's go see what you guys have in the chat. And I'll make my play as well. Here we go. Chat All-Stars ready. And it's going to be Yankees run line for 9 legacy. Blue says take the Yankees. NYC bar on the Yankees here. That's it. You guys are on the Yankees. You guys are on the Yankees here still. I have big question marks right now. I think this is eventually the reality starts to set in. Now, we know it's just a 10-day stint on the injured list, so that's probably pretty good news long term for the prospects here. But I got to take Tampa Bay in this one over the Yankees today. Give me the Rays. I know we're only getting now. I was almost thinking premium, but now we're only getting $1.11 minimum. But most of the price is maybe $1.20. So I'm going to take the Rays here in this one. Fernando says seems like an under. Next up, we've got the Dodgers taking on the Reds here. Shohei Ohtani on the mound. Maybe he can go 4 innings today after he's gone 2, 3, whatever it is. He's been incredible. He's been absolutely incredible, Shohei Ohtani, so far in his pitching stints. 6 starts, 1.5 ERA, 1 whip, 209. Batting average against, 27.5% K rate. Going up against Nick Martinez here. Martinez is 9-9, 4.69 ERA, 1.22 whip, 260 batting average against. He's got his moments out there, I'd say a little bit. Now, For the Dodgers here, they come in having won 4 of their last 6. So have the Reds. Dodgers have gone under in 5 of their last 6, including 4 of their last 6 on the road. The Reds have gone under in 6 of their last 7. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two have gone under, and 8 of the last 9 games for the Reds have gone under. Boy, that seems like under city here right now. So got Ohtani here. He'll be able to mow through these guys, I'm sure. The way he's going, man, it's no fluke. If anything, you get a little bit of a discount here. Dodgers maybe down to $1.65 or so. Total here is 9.5. So it really doesn't make much sense, right? 9.5. I know we're playing in Cincinnati. Yes, Martinez is sus sometimes, right, with some of these numbers, but you do have massive under potential. I just read you a bunch of trends that say these teams have been going under like nobody's business. Now, the problem here is that, you're in Cincinnati, you got these Dodger sluggers. What would the score conceivably be here at 9.5? It'd have to be 6-4 minimum, but it doesn't seem like Ohtani's going to give up a lot of runs, are they? And yeah, while the Dodger bullpen, we can make fun of them. We've never seen a Dodger bullpen that feels like to be a bottom 8 or 9 bullpen, but that's where they are right now with a 4.29 ERA. The Reds are, half a run better almost out of the bullpen here. So let's go to the chat and see in this one what you have. I kind of still want to find my way to the Reds, but let me see what the chat has to say here. I don't want to be dissing these Dodgers. Blues on them. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate your contributions today. Jimmy's on the Reds. 9 Legacy says Dodgers run line. And Lovable says maybe the Dodgers get a win streak going. Here's if it ain't 4 and it's born. He's got a 5-teamer here for 38-1. Reds, Rays, Cards, Rangers, and Mariners. Abel says Ohtani, big time with the K's today. Now that he can probably go 4 innings. Full game under there. Robert says, how about the Reds on the run line, huh? With this matchup, right? You can take the Reds here, which was a little bit. It's only minus $1.15. I got to do that. I'm going to go with Robert here. I'm going Reds on the run line today. Good suggestion there. All right. Let's see here. Dodgers for NYC Bar. Abel. Oh, and Shohei. Okay, gotcha, Abel. Wow. He's on Shohei Ohtani. I mean, right. Okay, so we can only get 4 innings out of this guy as he works his arm into shape. I'm sure he's got a bionic arm. He could probably throw a complete game and not have a worry. Thank you, Stop Geo. He's got the Dodgers' first 5 run line. Next up, we're working through this here. Marlins and Cardinals today with Quantrill going here in this one against Mikolas. For Cal Quantrill here, he's got a 5.05 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, 275 batting average against, and here's the he keeps this. He's the interesting one, right? So Quantrill is 3-8 this season. The Marlins are 12-8 with Quantrill on the mound. So every time Quantrill's lost, and so he doesn't have great numbers. When he's left the game, basically when he's left the game and is not trailing, I think, is that right? So would that be fair? He's 3-8, but the Marlins are 12-8 with him on the mound. So when he's left the game trailing, they've come back all 9 times, right? No, am I getting that right? 9-0 when he doesn't lose the game. Interesting. For Mikolas here, he's 6-7 with a 4.94 ERA, 130 WHIP, 271 batting average against. For Miami here, they've won 5 of their last 7. They've won 15 of their last 20 on the road. The Cardinals here have lost 10 of their last 15. Feels like they're going downhill fast. At this point, Cardinals now trailing by 10 games, so they're behind the Reds even at this point. It would take a minor miracle to get going if you're the Cardinals here. Cardinals have gone under in, let's see here, I'm sorry. Cardinals have won 11 of the last 14 at home against Miami here, but let's go to the chat. Interesting matchup. Okay, here's Blue on the Marlins here in this one. Stop Geo says, yeah, I'm going to get some Otani. Marlins money line there for 9 Legacy. And Jimmy's on the Marlins as well. Over for Cash Kane. Cardinals also there for Cash Kane. Miami money line for Lovable. I think it's actually gone down here from the opener to $1.45, maybe even $1.42 here at BOL. And Marlins here for Nuke as well, right? So, yeah. Cardinals maybe not to be trusted here at this point as any kind of a modest favorite. That's actually kind of what it feels like here. I kind of want to take them as well here. So go ahead and give me the Marlins in this one as an underdog. I got to take Miami here. All right, we're almost through with the baseball here. NYC Bar also. Marlins, another Marlins play. Rangers and Angels now. Nathan Eovaldi taking on Soriano here. This one, Eovaldi's 8-3 with a 1.5 ERA. He's been one of the best pitchers in the majors, almost the best, maybe the best, really, when you think about it. 27.5% K rate, 5% walks. The only thing missing is, and the wins aren't even missing either. He's 8-3 so far this season. Eovaldi, pretty incredible season actually. Should have been in the All-Star game for sure. Soriano, 7-7, 3.79 ERA, 1.4 the whip. Angels continue to be pretty impressive here for sure right now for what they are, right? Angels have won 4 of their last 5. Rangers came in hot. They're still have won 9 of their last 12. They've beaten the Angels in 10 of the last 14 meetings between the two teams. Now, this price probably has gone down a little bit. We call it $1.25. I'm even seeing $1.20 at some spots here, but Eovaldi's been – it's hard not to want to back him because of how good he's been. I know the Rangers' offense certainly a little bit questionable whether they could get it done against anybody. Soriano, like we said, the numbers are okay for sure. Feels like this one's going to be some good pitching. That's what it feels like to me. Let's go to the chat, see what you have in this one between Texas. It's just hard, man, with any offense at all. You feel like you can get what you need here right now with Eovaldi. So let's go to the chat with Abel's got the Dodgers team total over in that game against the Reds there. Cash Kane likes the Rangers on the run line. Lovable says it'll go over despite these good pitchers there. And Fernando on the Rangers here. Jimmy's on the Angels. Blue's on the Rangers, but Nuke is on the Angels. This is back at Roberts on the over, but Kane's on the under. The Laker boy likes the Rangers. Wow. How about that? And look, I did move the total down here a little bit to 8/15. It feels like here right now. So, yeah, this is a good one here, man. Okay. All right, I'm going to take the Rangers here in this one. Look, I'm just backing Eovaldi here. I'm going to need some offense. I think if you take the Angels, you're kind of, I don't want to say gambling with the fact that you'll get some offense, maybe when they get in the bullpen a little bit. These numbers for Eovaldi are no joke in 17 starts to have that 1.5 ERA right now. Okay, a few more plays here. Let's see. Ebaldi gets good run support. Yeah, but when he loses, the Rangers are just 2-4 when he leaves the game without a lead right there a little bit, I think. Okay, I think that's it from the crew. We got one more here tonight, and we're in West Sacramento for the Mariners taking on the A's here with Brian Wu. $1.45 now, and total 9.5 over 15. So maybe a little bit of a drop in the price, but the Mariners, maybe they're hitting the right stride at this point. Wu here, 2.91 ERA, 0.94 whip, 206. Batting average against Springs has been no joke. 9-7. Yes, 4.12 ERA, but playing half of his games here in West Sacramento. He's got a 1.2 whip and a 246 BABIP. To me, that says decent, okay numbers for Springs. I don't think we should get too down on him on this left-hander here, especially with a team. Look, Seattle is 19-10 against left-handers, so. For the Seattle Mariners here, they've won 10 of the last 14 in this series, but A's have won 5 of their last 6 coming in. Mariners have gone under in 5 of their last 6 games, including 4 of the last 5 on the road. The A's have gone under in 5 of their last 7 and 5 of their last 6 at home. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. I know we've got a lot of overs here in this part, but the runs have been suppressed a little bit here in this series, maybe because there has been decent pitching, it feels like. So let's see what you guys have here in this one with the Mariners and the A's. Let's go to the chat all-stars here. And then that'll be it for the baseball segment. Do WNBA, and that'll pretty much do it. Okay, here we go. Pardon me for the delay here. Let's just look at the run line. Okay, here we go in the chat with Wu over in his strikeouts here for Jimmy at 5.5. Juiced. NYC bars on the under. Lovable plays, liking the A's. Here, Terrell says over, and 9 Legacy says Rangers and the Mariners run line. I think that's a little parlay there. I'm taking the A's here in this one on the run line. They're only minus $1.30, so that's going to be okay with me. Like I said, I like Springs. I know Seattle does kind of pound right now on these guys a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and take this run line with the A's tonight. And that's it for the baseball. We're going to go over to the WNBA and look at 3 games here tonight, including the big one between the Lynx at home against the Liberty. But first, Robert's on the A's. But first, we're going to have the Mercury taking on the Fever. Caitlin Clark will miss another game here, and you got Mercury are down to 3. A little bit of a move here on the Fever. The total is up here big time to 166. Now, look, hopefully you're catching me on the 2-3 zone. Now, I don't want to say I've definitely had a couple of my 2 roughest shows there after crushing it pretty much all season. Maybe that's catching up. Maybe I'm a little stuck in the early part of the season here and riding with these teams a little bit too much. But Indiana has won 2 straight. They've actually been playing, again, maybe a little bit better or winning anyways without Clark. Phoenix has lost 3 of 4, but, man, this seems like a good matchup. Without Clark in there, this seems like a Mercury match. Mercury, like the Mercury should be the team that should be totally trusted here. So I'm not sure. But look, I'm already on the over here, so I'm just going to have to ride with the over here, I think, on the show as well, is what I'm going to do. This one opened at 163.5, and it's all the way up here to 166. I still got to back that, I think, a little bit. Phoenix is 10-4 to the over as a favorite. Indiana has gone over in 3 of their last 4 games coming into this one. Are really the fever? I mean, look, it's we're concerned because they keep winning without Clark, right? The jokes are out there that hey, without Clark, this team wins, and hey, well, that's a fact at this point. Whether or not it's correlated, I guess that'd be the question. But go ahead in the chat here if you want to make a pick in this one. I'm going to stick with. I'm saying I'm sticking with the over at the increased price. I feel like, but again, if you check out the 2-3 zone, and we were talking about that game last night at 163.5. It opened 161.5. Now we're looking at 166. So. All right, let's see here. Blues on the fever though in this one. Terrell, I don't know if they catch the fan that threw the prophylactic, and I don't know, Terrell, if you've been here the whole show, we had a whole segment on it, or maybe it was just me making little kid jokes there for a while. Lovable says they were playing well at home already. Mercury, here's some Mercury action with Abel today. Look, maybe that Mercury have lost a few games here, but they played tough teams too, right? It feels like so. I'm still sticking with the over here, and this one is my play. Oh, Terrell, yeah. Oh, Terrell's talking about that other incident there, right? Why did you have to run off the court? The wig came off. No big deal, right? We know a lot of players are wearing beautiful wigs out there. They look quite lovely. But why did she have to run off like she was embarrassed? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, right? You got to play through it. You got to look like you're playing through it. We don't mind if you're out there wearing I don't mind it. This is women's basketball. You want to have a fashion show? It's okay. All right, here's the big one. Liberty and the Lynx here tonight. Rematch of the finals. Now, it could be debated that, hey, we got no Stewie here. So, that's a pretty big deal for sure right now with her out of the lineup. In fact, this line is actually dropped to 7 or 7.5 here. The total is up here. We talked about it because that steam came in. At minimum 166.5. It feels more like 167 here. Now, I'm on the Liberty. I think, look, the Liberty have enough good players in depth. Yes. Does Stewart make a big difference? Yes. Are they going to win this game? Probably not. The Lynx are playing strong. They're the one that have the revenge here. Losing the championship game, but Minnesota's off that loss to Atlanta. Could have been a look ahead. They're 10-6 against the spread at home. Liberty's lost 2 straight. They're dismal against the spread on the road, but usually they're not getting all these points. However, like we said, the Liberty are 0-3 against the spread as underdogs. So that could be a bit of a tipping point for the Cappers. They're also 3-0 to the under as a dog. Not very often. All right. I'm on the Liberty here at +7 now. I'll call it +7. I just think they're still a championship caliber team. They are missing one of the top 2 or 3 players in the league for sure in this game. They know they are, right? And let's see here. Robert's on the over here in this one. Yeah, you gotta think gonna be a premium somewhere in there, Robert. I know that. Feels like to me. Even though, remember that final game, I think there was only 67-62, remember? But hey, that was the finals. That was the defense. think that's it from you guys in the chat. Not a lot of picks here for the big game. I'm going to take the liberty in this one to cover here. Watch out. Maybe they can. Look, there's no doubt they have still some great players on the Liberty, right? I mean, this lineup, even without Stewie, you would think, pretty solid here. You're going to have, uh, obviously you'll have uh, Izzy Harrison in there and Phoebish now, who, she's had a pretty good season so far since she's been back. I mean, Phoebish has had some big games, so you got to figure with Cloud, with Jonquel Jones, and now Nayara Sabali is out, but I'm going with the Liberty. All right, nobody else is commenting, so let's move to the last game, the Dream. Going to take on the Wings here. How about this one? This one's also at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific here with Dallas. Underdogs at home. This line is totally wrong. Let me fix this. But it's all the way down to 3 here for Atlanta. Wow. I mean, you give a lot of respect to these Wings all of a sudden. And the total here, 167.5. Okay. Now, I'm sure a lot of the line movement in this game, may have to do with, the Wings have looked okay, especially that Beckers is really starting to look good. And we saw Atlanta not quite look as good yesterday in that game against the Valkyries, right? Maybe people were expecting. Now, I was on the Valkyries in the game. I was not fretting about them getting blown out by 60 points or whatever, and now Golden State ended up winning the game. Now, unfortunately, I'm already on Dallas on the record at plus the points. Now, when we did the 2-3 zone show, the send out line was about 7.5. So I'm still going to roll with them here at plus 3. I'm going to take the Wings still, just because I'm kind of already on them. I think a few more points are necessary, but I'm not going to flip-flop here. And I do like what the Wings are doing right now, actually. Feels like this one's gotten into the danger zone a little bit, but I'm the one that's been talking up the Wings, even with their poor record, that I thought that they would continue to improve. I think Becker's 20-point outbursts have been absolutely thrilling, proving that she's not only the rookie of the year, and you also have Ryan Howard out of this game now. She's been out now for over 2 weeks, so I don't think there's any, anything in that. Hey, real quick, I do got a little bit of breaking news here involving one of these early games. We're seeing Bregman have he's going to need his rest day today. So, look, don't want to be missing Bregman with the year he's having. And we know he's missed a few games here, but he will be out of today's game against Minnesota. No Bregman today against the Twins on the road. We did already go under in that one, but no Bregs today. All right, so give me Dallas here. I'll stick with them. That's what I had on that 2-3 zone show. And we do know that, hey, we would like a few more points for sure after the dip. But, look, Atlanta, they're on the back-to-back, right? So that's a factor too. And here's the weird thing about this Atlanta back-to-back situation. I remember how we described it. We talked about it on that other show. Was Atlanta was on the road to end the All-Star break with a road trip. I think it was 3 games, 3 or 4 games, whatever. They come home for the All-Star game. That's fine. They had an All-Star. Maybe players went to another location. The thing about the All-Star break, you have a little extra travel for everyone who is on break too. They might have went home to their families or whatever they did. Then they went back out on the road for a 3-game road trip right out of the All-Star break. Then they came home for a game, and now they're next day back right here on the road. So this is a little bit of a tough spot. Okay, chat, here we go. Hope I didn't miss all these plays here. Lovable on the under, maybe in that game. Here's Blue on the wings. Thank you to Cash Kane. Everyone, like this video. Subscribe to our channel. And Golden State. Oh, Terrell took Golden State. Oh, good job, Terrell. Yeah, I mean, look, I like the whole franchise for Golden State, right? Yeah, young team, missing a top player, go on the road, play the worst team. That sucks. I know that's gonna, they look bad, but you gotta like that coach. You gotta like the organization. Look, it feels like they built this thing good. They might not even make the playoffs now. But what were their true expectations, right? Jimmy says Mercury, Lynx, and Dream. And Jimmy said, okay, thanks, you guys. Yep, appreciate it. Guess that's it for the show. Here, like I said, there's some Leagues Cup today. We'll send out some picks there. We'll get the early baseball out here right now to the subscribers. We'll have a night card as well, I think is the way we're going to go about it. So let's do the drawing and see who's going to get, free picks from me. If you sign up right now, like I said, whoever wins this, use the promo code WINNER. And you can get this morning release right here, right now. So let's run the contest and see who wins 1 month of my picks. Use the promo code WINNER when you win. You go over to winnable.com/Ramon and then sign up. Choose 1 month, but type in the promo code WINNER. It's not going to cost anything. Okay, I've set it up so that you don't have to send me a DM. You don't need me to send you I'm announcing the promo code WINNER right now. So you enter that in. Now, everyone who thinks they're going to go in and type in WINNER, I'm watching you. I know who's in there. I still may leave you in there for a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to give you a month of these hot plays. All right. Anyway, let's go to the draw. You know what I mean? Here we go. Do the drawing. The show's over. Thank you very much, everybody. Here we go. How many are in the drawing today? 29 of you commented on the show. And let me real quick thank the chat all-stars top to bottom here real quick. Our MVPs today were Zach Hatton, you're number 1. NYC Bar, number 2. Joshi, number 3. I got to get Josh's let me say Josh's name right, though, here. I know he goes by another name in the chat. Sorry, Josh. I don't want to out you there. I'm trying to find it, though. Laker Boy, number 3. Thank you, Josh. Hope that's okay to say. Blue was only number 4, you guys. So, see, it's not about volume with the algorithm. Blue did a good job today. He did get off track a little bit in there, but he had some good picks. So Blue was only number 4. Thank you, Blue. 9 Legacy 5, Cash Kane 6, Bobby Mack 7, Fernando 8, Abel 9, and Andrew K 10. I wish I could track all your plays and maybe highlight them too, but I just don't have that ability right now. But that would be awesome. I do want to do that. Mikey and I have talked about it somehow, letting everyone put their plays in somewhere so we can track the records, but it's hard. Let's do the drawing here and see who wins. I'm going to give away 1 month of those Ramon Scott Sports Money Premiums. Here we go. Cash Kane, Terrell, Robert, If It Ain't Porn It's Born, Zach, Billy, Cash Kane, Laker Boy, Gorky, Lovable Plays, and it's going to be 9 Legacy. And Johnny, if you want to, Johnny Blaze, 9 Legacy, if you want to get those plays, just use the promo code WINNER, sign up at Winnable. I'll send you 1 month of my picks. You can just look at them, see them, whatever you want to do. If you like them, if you don't, and if you don't want to get it, that's okay too. If you wanted to pass it along to somebody and say, I don't need it, but give it to somebody, we could do that, whatever. But use the promo code WINNER if you want to get those plays, and I'll have a package today. I think I've got about 4 or 5. I think it might be 3 or 4 morning plays here right now for today. So, but always appreciate your contributions, 9 Legacy. That's the least I can do. the secret's out. I mean, I want to give everyone who comments in the show free picks from me, whether they like it or not. Just to thank them really for all the contributions. I think that's what it's all about. Why I'm doing it. Like I said, when I'm getting the subscriptions, it's not even about that money because look, we got a few dozen of you in there for sure, paying the 50 cents a day. Are you guys buying me some pizza at night? Am I eating a large round table? Well, maybe I am, but really, it's about the kind of the labor that I put in there and everything too. So check it out there. Appreciate that, everybody. That's going to do it for the Morning Steam Show here today. Be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Mikey is back tonight with pre-gaming. And apologize, Mike, if I might have missed a call time there. I think I was supposed to be on the air with them last night. I think it was just on Razor's channel, and I saw that in there. And Mikey always says I ignore his messages, and I'm not exactly busy, but I didn't know if it was a horse racing. I was just confused. So if you're watching, Mikey, I apologize. I'll be there this weekend for sure, and wherever else we need to be. I know there was Walking Dead yesterday too, right? But all right. Or maybe that was Monday. Actually, the days are running together. Hey, be back tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. And for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Cash, then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. Ramon Scott, sports money. Wake your ass up and let's get to the